I got the Rangers ranked 8th. Fangraph says they're 13th best. They are the defending World Series champion. The goal is to repeat as the World Series champions. Additions, they added David Robertson to the bullpen, Diego Castillo to a minor league deal, Tyler Mahle, I'm pretty sure is rehabbing Tommy John surgery or something like that. So he's probably not even going to play a lot of this year. Jacob deGrom, similar thing. And same thing with Scherzer. He's not supposed to be back for a while. So the rotation has a lot of injuries. They didn't really add much. Jared Walsh on a minor league deal. But they lost a fair amount. They lost Martin Perez, not that much. But they lost Aroldis Chapman and Mitch Garver. And Jordan Montgomery was their best pitcher in the playoffs last year. Arguably was their best pitcher. I mean, Nathan Eovaldi was pretty good. So I think they lost a lot. So that's interesting. Their pitching staff went in the year last year with DeGrom. You went in last year with DeGrom, Eovaldi, Heaney, Dunning, John Gray. Last year. DeGrom is injured. Scherzer is on the roster, but he's also injured. You have two built-in mid-season trades for DeGrom and Scherzer. And then Tyler Mahle is probably not going to pitch this year, I'm pretty sure. If he does, it would be late in the year as well. Right now, your rotation is Nathan Eovaldi, who I think is really good. He's a year older. Overperformed some of his expected numbers. And I think he's just carrying such a big load for the pitching staff because he's really good. But if Scherzer and DeGrom are at their A game and they're on the mound every 5 days, Eovaldi is the 3 starter, not the 1 starter. I think Eovaldi is a good ace. It's just John Gray is kind of unproven. Like, you paid him a fair amount of money, but he ended up in the bullpen at the end of the year last year. But I think he's pretty good. Andrew Heaney's solid, but like, what do you really think he can do? Dane Dunning had a really good first half, struggled in the second half, and Cody Bradford came out of the bullpen, but would love to start, is what he said, but he really wants to win. So he's going to be getting an opportunity to start. They also have Danny Duffy as well, and Owen White as a prospect. I just don't really fully trust the rotation. I think the two built-in midseason trades for Scherzer and DeGrom are two of the best pitchers of this generation. Really does help. The bullpen, I think, could disappoint. Last year, they were really bad until the playoffs. Jose Leclerc was just so good in the postseason. He's going to be the closer going into next year. I just feel like the expectations are set really high. Same thing with Josh Spores. Like, the bullpen was not good all year. You cannot just assume the bullpen's going to be great because of how they performed in the playoffs. I think the bullpen is probably still going to struggle during the regular season. And another thing that I'll just bring up right now is they were so good in the first 3 months of the year, 2-3 months of the year last year. They ended up losing the division in the end, coming in second, tied with the Astros, but they still ended up coming in second. And I think that's one of the main things that's kind of worrisome for me, is that I think they're more of the second half team than they are of that first half team. At catcher, they have Jonah Heim, who I think is one of the better catchers in baseball. Their backup is going to be Andrew Kisner. I think that's how you pronounce it. Jonah Heim is a solid offensive bat and a very, very, very good defender over at catcher. Switch hitter also is kind of cool. First base is Nathaniel Lowe, but he is injured right now with a strained oblique, so I don't know how long that's going to end up being. The oblique is always an interesting injury because sometimes people come back and they're fine. Sometimes you keep re-aggravating it. For right now, Justin Foscue is sitting there at first base, and I think he's a very interesting player. He's a great power bat. I think he's going to perform so well. I think he's going to perform well enough that he's going to end up on this roster afterwards. Like, he'll be a bench bat and play some first, and I think he can also play a little bit of third base as well. At second base, you got Marcus Semien, who I think is really good. I think he could somewhat disappoint people, overperformed some of his StatCast numbers, but he also played. I'm also really worried about him getting injured. He's older. He plays all the games all the time, and it's just it could catch up to him. He might worry about some injuries. I think he might decline a little bit. At third base, you got Josh Young, who I think could disappoint some people as well. He's amazing, but a 29.3% strikeout rate and a 5.8% walk rate, high strikeouts, low walks. is never a good sign of a player. But I just think Josh Young has some sort of it factor where it's like, I don't think he's going to be bad. I think he's good. I just think there is some decline maybe coming with all the strikeouts, unless he can figure it out and cut down on the strikeouts. Shortstop right now is projected to be Ezekiel Duran because of the sports hernia surgery Corey Seager had in January. It was said that he's not gonna have to worry about it. He's gonna be available for opening day. I'm a little worried about opening day, but I think Corey Seager is gonna be fine. He's gonna come back from the injury and just be the typical Corey Seager. He's gonna be amazing. I don't see him getting much worse, I would say. In left field, you got Evan Carter, who's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's amazing, was amazing in a short time, amazing in the playoffs. Evan Carter's winning Rookie of the Year. Center field is Leody Taveras, great defender, solid offensive player. I think he's very good. Adolis Garcia, it's really interesting. He was good in his rookie year, which was 2021, I believe. And he just struck out a ton. And he figured out a way to make adjustments, and now he's an amazing elite right fielder in Major League Baseball. Great defender out there. Adolis Garcia is very good. And DH is supposed to be Wyatt Langford, another Rookie of the Year, top Rookie of the Year candidate. I think Wyatt Langford is going to be good. I think it's just there's a lot of pressure on him. He's actually older than Evan Carter. But I just think there's a lot of pressure on Wyatt Langford to be this guy. But luckily, he's got an unbelievable surrounding offensive cast that I think Wyatt Langford will figure it out. He's not going to have to really worry about being out in the field that much. So I think he's going to be good. Overall, I have them winning 2 less games than a year ago, 88-74. I think the pitching staff just kind of needing to tread water until you get your 2 guys back is going to make a difference. 88-74. I would have gotten the over-under at exactly 88. And Vegas says 88.5. I would bet the over on 88.5.